And y'all hear music. Hey, good evening. This is Nicolina Nix with Women, Wit, and Wine, and I am here for another show. And I'm pretty excited about this show. I've been really excited about the show. It's Hung Like a Seahorse. I really love the title. It's awesome. I usually ask my guests if you were to think of a title, let's think of one, and then if they can't come up with one, I come up with one. But this is actually the title of a book, and my guest here is Quinn Alexander Fontaine.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Did I say all that right?
You said it all right.
Awesome.
All right.
And he, and it's amazing, and I'm kind of excited because have you published the book?
The book is ready to go. It's I'm doing a fundraiser right now to get the Amazon.com launch package.
Yeah.
I'm very close to that. I think the book's going to be out in about 4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, very excited.
That is awesome, and I can't wait to read it because I would love to read it.
And that is the whole title. The title is Hung Like a Seahorse, and then the publisher said, that's great, but we need to have a little extra line so people know what the hell it's about.
Yeah.
So it's Hung Like a Seahorse, a real-life transgender adventure of tragedy, comedy, and recovery.
And I think that's amazing. I that's actually, the whole description of even this show, I actually used your tagline, so for that. One of the things is I've kind of found amazing is I first became aware of you during the Buffalo Thunder Comic-Con because you were doing comedy there. I didn't get to see you, but then I started watching some of your videos, and I've kind of watched your transformation, and I'm like, wow, that's awesome. I'm like, he's kind of hot. And then I went, wait.
Could I date a man hung like a seahorse? Man, let me tell you what. I was so honored to be asked to do that. They asked me to be a special guest for the Buffalo Thunder Comic-Con, and that was Lucas Corvada, Tina Presley. They gave me a 5-minute set, Mary Bird as well. Yeah. So they put me up for 5 minutes. It was my first time on stage as Quinn doing stand-up.
Awesome.
So talk about coming home. Like, I had done stand-up years and years ago in San Francisco and then L.A., and then I kind of let that go to the wayside. I found sketch, improv, and did a couple other things. But to be back to stand-up and in the right body, a whole other experience.
I think it is. It's about being comfortable in your skin, and if you're not comfortable in your skin, I listen to a lot of comedians who are not really comfortable in who they are in their skin.
Right.
And it's rehearsed. It's first, and I really think a lot of the best comedians talk from experience, and for me, I'm a talk from an experience, and if you can do that, then oh my God, you are so way ahead of this open mic comedic world.
But I do think I hear what you're saying, and I do think we live in this culture where so many people are afraid to be who they really are, and once we do that for ourselves, we're giving everybody permission to do the same. And what better gift is there? Right. Just be you.
Just be you.
Just be you.
Just be you. Find your pain. And that's what I tell people is find your pain and make it funny. Let's talk about, your most embarrassing situation.
Yeah, what's the basic definition of comedy? Tragedy plus time equals comedy.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, if you find that, okay, it's something that you're mortified, that's something that I've actually told people, well, I can never do comedy. I said, yes, you can. Let me tell you how you can, because this is the key to it. Take your most embarrassing situation and make it funny.
Find the funny.
Find the funny in it.
Yeah, I hear you.
I absolutely do. And everything I do, if I am my biggest heckler. So let's talk about this show. When I started this show, I was going to call it Women in Wine. Okay. And then I thought, oh, but I'm a comedian. And then I would be going, as a comedian, a critical comedian, I would be going, yeah, it's just a bunch of women sitting around and whining.
Right.
So I had to put something else in there. So we named it Women, Wit, and Wine. Right. Because now it's changed because people now understand that it's about the wine, it's about the conversation, and it's about enjoying it. And people are like, "Is it women only?" I said, "Absolutely not. That's not what I want. Right. That is not the goal. It's a woman-based show,
right?
But the goal of this is let's talk about life because I want a man's opinion of. So why wouldn't you date me? What do you think is wrong with me?
Yeah.
Because, and it's not like. What's really wrong with me? It's about it's about approach. It's about approaching life in this perspective and balance. We got to have balance.
It's all about balance.
I mean, if you don't, I mean, for me, I am a very, I'm all woman.
Yeah.
But I have a very...
As I'm noticing.
But I'm a very masculine personality.
Oh, I don't feel that from
you. If you know me on an everyday basis, you would
task
see.
oriented and got to fix things.
Absolutely, I am the go-to person. I can get it done. I can get it fixed, and I kind of make a joke about how I'm a little bit of a male chauvinist. Where I have a lot of female friends that are feminists, and it's like, yeah, but I'm kind of a male chauvinist. I think most women are kind of goofy. However, does that make me a jerk?
No, it makes you honest. That's just been your experience.
It is a blessing and a curse that I am blatantly honest. I am brutally honest, and I will always tell you like it is. I have if you ask me, just I'll be like, hey, you got something in your teeth. Fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want you walking around looking like that.
Right.
That's just ugly. You can't be my friend if you look like that. So I'm one of those people. So let's talk about let's talk about your book. Let's talk about where you've come from. When did you decide this is not the place I belong?
In the body, you mean?
Yes.
Well, I've known, I'll be 50 this coming October. I've known since I was a little kid that I was trans. There just was no word for me. I grew up in rural Virginia in the 70s and 80s. The word transgender didn't come around to the mid-90s.
Right.
So there was no word for me. I always knew I was a boy in a girl's body, and that in itself was hell. Mm-hmm. Never mind. I knew from the age of 4 onward. And I always had crushes on girls. So I'm a straight guy in female form. And that's all shifting slowly but surely. Thank God for testosterone. Yeah. I've been on testosterone for 2.5 years.
Awesome.
So this coming September 17th will be my 3-year anniversary.
So here's my question: did your voice change with the testosterone? Did it get deeper?
Yes.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah. And I can even do this. Yo, how you doing?
Hey.
It gets deeper pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I quit. My period ended within 2 months of testosterone, and the body weight redistributed. Much easier to gain muscle mass.
So you're saying that for me to develop a little bit, I should probably rub a little bit on my ovaries that I don't have anymore, that are more like dust?
Some women that are imbalanced with hormones do bioidenticals.
Yeah. Well, I was given that, testosterone, because my sex drive was like, and so my doctor goes, let's give this to you so we can see if we can get you back.
We got to make sure you're rubbing it on the right places.
Right. He's like, rub it here and don't rub up against anybody, especially another man. And I'm like, okay.
No rubbing.
No rubbing.
So I knew from a young age, but I grew up in a time, in a town, and in a family where I couldn't talk about it. I couldn't talk about what was really going on with me. So it was really painful growing up and having crushes on girls and in high school, and having them say to me, "Oh my God, my name at the time, my birth name is Kathleen. Kathleen, you'd be so cute if only you were a boy." Talk about oh my God, stab me in the heart. And I couldn't say anything at the time I wanted to say, "Well, close your eyes, let's pretend." But I couldn't. I couldn't.
I'm kind of like a boy.
Yeah, I couldn't speak up at all. But so it's been a long, long journey. Which includes, I actually have a lot of pre-verbal childhood sexual abuse in my past, which I've been healing. I found my way from Los Angeles to Santa Fe 11 years ago to go to treatment, and that was the Life Healing Center. And their byline it's called the Life Healing Center, Intensive Trauma Resolution. And the minute I saw it online, every part of me was like, that's where you have to go. Yeah. I was smoking crack cocaine at the time, drinking every day, all day for 1 year and 3 months, trying to die. You were trying to kill yourself. Yeah, because I couldn't handle what had come up for me. Yeah. On top of the trans piece, everything finally made sense in my life, but I could not hold it. I wasn't my own container for my truth. Long story short, found my way to Santa Fe to go to treatment, and started my journey there. And I really had to dive deep, and do some really big digging to get to the nitty gritty of my trauma, start to heal that. start to heal all my addictions. I'm cross-addicted, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm 11 years off crack cocaine in a couple months. But it took me forever to clean everything else up. Pills, pot, alcohol, the wrong kind of women, all kinds of stuff. And I've got, let me see, coming up on 18 months off everything, and that feels great. But I had to do the main piece of trauma healing and get clean and sober to really get real with the fact that I'm still so effing uncomfortable in my body. Because I wanted to make sure, clear the trauma as best I could and see if this disconnect around the gender was still there.
So maybe the thing is kind of where you find you're uncomfortable is rewriting it. Let's rewrite it. Let's start rewriting that. So, you know, for example, I'm a curvy person. So, but there's also this part of me that thinks that if I'm fat, I'm unattractive. That means I'm protected. Because I have this fortress of flab around me that protects my heart. Because if I'm skinny and sexy and because I have a sexual dysfunction growing up, people will be attracted to me because I'm skinny and I'm sexy now. So now only people are going to want me because they want to just fuck me.
But there's also people that are really into just. You're not that big. You're really beautiful.
I'm really not. Thank you.
No,
I'm really not. But you
are curvy, and there are people that are specifically into that. So on some level, we're never safe if we're hanging out for that piece.
And that's my point: is we have to start to rewrite that. We have to learn to love who we are. And so it's like, okay, so I need to write down. Okay, I'm heavy because, if I'm heavy, then people won't break my heart. But why? Well, why? But why? And so we have to restart. We have to start rewriting that and reconditioning ourselves. And I read a book. It's called "You're a Badass."
Yes.
Have you read it? I love her.
I love her writing.
And listen to her. I mean, if you listen to her, and she was really the first person that I read a lot of self-help books.
Yeah.
And she was the first person that really resonated with me because there's that truth to it. It's about. And she's she's that whole person of rewriting what your issue is. What's your dilemma? Oh, I don't like sex. I dress like a slut, but I don't really like sex. But if I don't, then nobody's going to be attracted to me. So let's rewrite this. Let's start rewriting that discomfort in who we are to be comfortable in our own skin. And I really think that for me, that book was really a huge moving point. Yet healing for myself,
You probably experienced this. I mean, when you say sexual dysfunction, from your life, what do you mean? Do you mean abuse as well? Or do you mean...
I've had abuse. Okay. I had emotional sexual abuse. Okay. When I was younger, I've been raped, and I've had physically abusive relationships, mentally abusive relationships, And it's about healing. My mother was one of these people that started, when I hit 13, it was, and all of a sudden I had a chest, are you pregnant? No, Mother, I'm not pregnant. Are you sure? Yes, Mother, I'm sure.
It's called overnight puberty, Mom.
Yeah, and then it was like, do you want to go get checked? Sure, Mom. And so, after a while, you start thinking, oh, there's really something to this. So maybe I should be having sex. And then, I lost my virginity at 15. And, I had numerous extramarital affairs with married men because it was safe.
Right.
Because they couldn't hurt me.
Right.
Because I had rules. I had guidelines. I had this 6-month rule. Any more than 6 months is emotional attachment. And the minute that they say they love you, you got to pack up and get out.
Oh my God, yeah. And I bet you can pack a bag in record time.
I could. Not so much now, but I could.
I for my whole life, have been able to pack a bag in record time. Nothing in the bag made sense.
Yeah.
It was just the action of F you, I'm out of here.
Right.
And I would, pack a huge bag with this huge action. Yeah. It was a big duffel bag, but one flipper, a broken toothbrush, pair of pants that I can't fit into. Yeah. I'm talking about that action of.
Absolutely.
Just acting out over and around hurt,
And then you're in your car and you're driving 20 minutes later and you're going, what the fuck did I just do?
And where am I going? And who am I running from ultimately?
What's my plan?
There's a saying it's in recovery is where I first learned it, but it's also in therapy circles. It's called doing a geographic. It means when you say, oh, it's this place, I got to get out of here. It's this person, I got to get out of here. And it's really you trying to get away from yourself. I mean, point blank, in L.A., I lived in L.A. for 10 years. I lived in 13 places.
Wow.
One of which was a sailboat, and I had no intention of learning how to sail. I mean, what was that communication to the universe? Like, I could just up the anchor one day and say, take me away.
Take me away.
Yeah. Just not knowing how to be on this planet, truly.
We're looking for somebody else, something else to save us. You know, I know that I've done that. I fell in my opinion, I fell in love with somebody for the first time in my life, of what I thought was true love, my soulmate.
How old were you?
I was 44, we were together for a year. It devastated me when we broke up because he was a little bit more broken than he presented himself, and maybe I just wasn't his soulmate, but he was my soulmate, in my opinion, at that time. I see it a lot differently now, but I'm just like, I waited so long because for most of my life I could always see somebody else down the road, and that was that part of me. Of thinking, you know, but when I met this person, this was the person I could see in my future, the rest of my life, growing old with. And it didn't happen. And so at that point in my life, I thought, now you need to be alone. And I've been single since 2011. And I'm okay being single. I'm okay knowing that, you know, I'm like in the middle of my bed.
How old are you?
I'm actually 52 this year.
Cool. Okay.
So,
well, do you believe in the idea that there's actually a soul tribe, that we incarnate
absolutely
in groups, like a soul tribe comes in, and you find your people in that soul tribe, and they can either be best friends instantly or lovers and soulmates. And I do think
I believe we are so many. I believe there's so many levels of being a soulmate. I mean, I believe that there's karmic soulmates. I believe that there are soulmates that are here to teach us great, amazing lessons. I believe that we do have several love soulmates. And then I believe we have a twin flame. And yes, it's finding your home. And when you find the people that connect with you on a level that most of the world doesn't see you at, it's definitely your tribe. Have you ever read the book The Kinevada Are Waiting for You?
No.
That's actually a really amazing book. I read that when I was, it's actually been 30 years ago that I read this book, and it's about a man, and he gets into a car accident, and all of a sudden he's in this village, and, you know, they go through rebirthing, and they communicate on an esoteric level, and it's absolutely amazing, and it was like, it takes you from this materialistic world and puts you into this perspective of life is very simple if you allow it to be. It doesn't have to be that complicated. And especially if you find the people that accept you for who you are.
Yeah. And it has to start with each individual.
You have to love you first.
Yeah, and that's been a long, long time coming. I started liking myself a little bit, you know, a few years back, and now I'm actually loving myself. Not every day, all day, but at least every hour on the hour once.
Here's the thing. If you love yourself every day, all day, you will never improve.
That's a good point, actually. That's a very good point.
Because here's the thing. It is our faults that make us better people. It is our pain and our experiences and the faults that make us stronger because we strive to overcome them.
I like that.
And if it's like being in love all the time. If you're in love all the time and everything is perfect and great, how do you know that you're really in love? How do you know if you have nothing to compare it to?
Right.
We have to have that comparison and that struggle.
That's right. That makes sense. That does make sense.
To grow.
Yeah. True. I've learned that extreme sorrow, and on the flip side of that is incredible elation.
Absolutely.
Joy. It's the same two sides of the same coin. And if I allow myself to really go into those depths of despair and trust that it's not going to be forever like it often feels.
It's absolutely always a temporary solution.
And then when we come out of
that... And a temporary problem.
Right. When we come out of that, the joy is like more joy than I've known before.
Right.
And trusting that is so challenging.
You know, I mean, I've actually been doing this month. It's called Payback. It's a site called Payback, but it's called 31 Zen, and it's basically 31 days of meditation.
Okay.
And every day you get a new meditation mantra, and one of them is that it's not that kind of. It was I want to read it to you. Let me pull it up. And I thought that it was a great mantra because it made my day go easier.
Nice.
Let me find it. And it was just the other day. Did you feel that? Okay.
Please hold.
Tuck away.
Talk away.
That's right.
And one of my spiritual mentors, Michael Bernard Beckwith, says, the pain pushes until the vision pulls. And I love that.
I agree.
And it's not like one part of my life was all about the pain pushing and now it's about the vision pulling. It's often the mishmash of both, you know, and just surrendering and allowing that whole part of life to be just the process that it is. You know, we live in this really, well, I tend to be really controlled. We live in this culture that, you know, tries to sell everything on bigger, faster, famous, yesterday.
And controlling.
And controlling.
Here's the mantra.
Okay.
There are no wrong decisions because I learn from every choice.
You said that all day long.
It's 5 minutes. It's a 5 minute meditation.
Say it again.
There are no wrong decisions because I learn from every choice.
True.
And that resonated for me because, you know, I think a lot of the times we go, oh, blah, 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 blah. I shouldn't have done that. Damn it. What was I thinking? Well, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking at the moment it felt really great. But in hindsight, you think, maybe that was kind of a dumb move, but at least I know not to do that again.
Right. I hear you. No, that's good.
You know, and I teach my daughter that of the answer is always no if you don't ask.
That's a good one. Because
we will always talk ourselves out of everything.
Will you, Nicolina, be my life coach?
I would love to. I would absolutely love to. That's actually kind of my goal right now is to start life coaching.
Oh, right on. That would be good. You'd be a good fit.
So, absolutely. And I've learned so much just in myself this last year. I lost my job 2 weeks ago, and I'm like thinking, I really don't want to work for other people, but I want to work with other people. I want to teach people. I want to teach them that there's so much in life to be grateful for.
True.
Absolutely. We have to be grateful. And one of the things about my show is a goal is like, I want somebody to come out learning something. And my subjects talk about from politics all the way to sex.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about healing. You know, I had a guest on here a couple of weeks ago, and I told her, I said, you know, one of the best lessons I learned was from a psychic. I went to a clairvoyant. She was clairvoyant, clairsentient, and clairaudient. And she says, some days you need to get in your car and ask you what direction that you need to go. And the universe is going to tell you. So when you're really scared, that's the moment when you go, okay, you have my attention and I'm listening. Please just tell me. And it turned out that it was great. She goes, next day she's texting me, she goes, I took your advice and I did that. And guess what I'm doing? I'm going to start teaching yoga. They're going to give me a month for free so I can get acclimated to it. And, you know, once I'm ready to go in 30 days, I'll be teaching class myself.
That is cool.
She says, and that was based on what you told me I should do. And it was like, because I'm not going to tell you this is what I think you should do.
Yeah.
But I can give you this option. I can give you a different perspective. Because I've done it. I've been there.
Nicolina, this is the first time I'm meeting you in person, but I already have a cool story about you.
Awesome.
So check this out. I was just coming through a dark night of the soul, and I don't know who coined the phrase "dark night of the soul," but it never lasts one night.
Yeah.
Coming out of a really funky depression, I deal with treatment-resistant severe depression.
Call me.
Okay.
Always call me.
I'd slept like a day and a half out of just overwhelm and been really in a funk for a couple weeks. And I was up and muscling through the day and just doing what I had to do. I'm in the shower at like 6:45 a.m. on a Saturday because I had a very busy day. And next thing I know, I'm not raging, but I am being really demanding and firm and angry with God.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, listen, Mother, Father, God, Infinite Spirit, God, whomever you want to be addressed or how you want to be called today. I'm pissed because I've been doing my work. I've got 11 years off crack. I put all these other days together off everything else. I am showing up for my life. I am going through the motions. I am putting energy out there and doing my best to make it happen. And at that moment, in that time in my life, it was feeling like nothing was coming together.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I need to see something today.
Yeah.
And I'm catching myself. I realize I'm in the shower and I'm yelling kind of at the ceiling, at the skylight, imagining yelling at a spirit, at God, and not censoring myself at all, not stopping, not apologizing, just going, you know what? I need to see something today.
Yeah.
Today, in the area of career, you show me something today. Because if I'm on the wrong path, I will recalibrate and I will go learn what I need to learn to do that. But I'm putting everything into this, meaning, acting, stand up. Most of what I want to do is my real calling is combining comedy and inspirational speaking. So it's inspirational comedy. That's my passion.
Absolutely.
Right? And so I just said this out loud about, you show me something today. Yes, today.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not fucking around, right?
Yeah.
And got out of the shower, went about my day, had about 2 hours back at my loft, had a little break, and I was just eating some healthy food, getting some clothes ready to go drive down here to Albuquerque for a fundraiser that night, and that's when you sent me a private message. We'd never met.
Yeah.
You sent me a private message and asked me to be on your show.
Yeah.
And I said yes instantly to you as I'm looking up on my phone, as I'm looking up on my computer. How do I know her?
Yeah.
And your name seemed familiar, but we hadn't met in person.
Absolutely not.
And so I'm tracking who you are. I'm saying yes. You're asking me what you're giving me like 4 dates to choose from. I picked a date. You said, what do you want the title to be? And I thought you meant Mr. because I'm newly transitioning. What did you mean? I don't know. Like, the name of your show. It's your show. And I was like, okay, hung like a seahorse. And so it didn't hit me until about 20 minutes later. And it hit me full force, and I sat down on my couch. And tears started streaming down my face as I held my hands together in a prayerful mudra, looking at the sky, at the ceiling, and getting it, and saying, thank you. Thank you, Spirit, for hearing me and delivering. And it coming through Nicolina in such a beautiful way within 5 hours of my demanding request.
But sometimes we have to talk to him like that. We have to talk to that spirit like that. Because, a lot of people have this perception of the spirit of what you're asking for. Well, you know what? Why the hell are you asking? Why don't you just tell them what you want? Let's tell the universe what we really want. I've been working on something, and every night I have a diary that says, Dear Universe. And I write what I want. And it's really been amazing because I've been working with it the last week, and it really has been amazing because all of a sudden I'm getting this amazing support that you would never expect from people. And because my big concern was, okay, I lost my job, and I'm going to be on unemployment, which is about $800 less than what I was making. Oh my God, how am I going to make it? But then all this unexpected gratitude, because I'm very grateful. I drove home crying. I stayed in bed for 3 days depressed, and I got up on a Saturday and I thought, I'm okay. I'm going to be okay because I'm not making that money, but I'm out of this toxic environment.
Right.
And it really broke my heart because right there kind of towards the end, because every morning I'd come in, I'd go into work really early and I'd do my sage burning because, I'm depleting the negativity out of my life. And then I was told by one of the upper management over me going, that really makes other people sick. You need to stop doing that. And I'm like, okay, so, now you've stifled me a little bit. And that's not fair because I don't judge you because of that you post a religious statement every day.
Right.
That's not necessarily my faith. But I don't judge you and I don't tell you not to do that because I'm allowing you to express yourself, and this is me expressing myself. I show up at 7 o'clock so I can burn this sage so it clears out by 8 o'clock.
Right.
And you're telling me now I can't burn it?
Right.
So you're now taking this away from me. This is something that keeps me a little sane, and you take this away from me.
It's only 2 weeks fresh that you're out of the job.
Absolutely, right? And I'm
so
okay.
You're okay, yes.
Yeah.
And you're going to see a little further down the line the gifts.
I actually already am.
You do.
I do, and I have no idea why, but maybe it's because I need to start doing this.
Right.
I need to really focus more on this. I have a couple of other projects for my podcast that I'm doing. I have a new show, hopefully starting in June. I considered another one called the Ocd Diaries.
Oh my God.
And it's just me talking about being obsessive compulsive. And how you realize, I have this joke because, last week's show I did on breast cancer, and I was telling the people, I said, you really realize that you're obsessive compulsive when you join the Netflix video club and you alphabetize everything, and then you realize that the movies you're getting are in alphabetical order and not availability.
Oh my God.
I said, so now you got to change your way of thinking.
I actually have OCD too, but
yeah.
I'm curious how yours shows up.
Mine is a lot of emotion. It's a bad porn video in my head.
So is it when you get nervous, you do certain things?
It's when I feel like I'm out of control.
What,
or when I'm not in control.
Okay, and what kind of stuff do you do?
I will absolutely obsess about everything. It's almost like waking up in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. in the morning. It's really 3 a.m. in the morning, and my head's going, let's talk about everything that you fucked up today.
Everything. And it's everything. No, mine doesn't do that as much. When I'm nervous, I count. Like, I'll be sitting in a recovery meeting, and there's only 6 of us.
Yeah.
I will count and recount all 6 of us because I don't believe that I'm right.
I have to cycle down.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
So, I'll be, going through emails, and I'll go, okay, I can delete 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Delete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Delete.
Got it. Oh, then to 8, then all the way down? Oh, wow. I've not heard of that.
And then I start all over. It's definitely a cycle down kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't have that, and I don't have the one where you check the lights all the time and turn off, unplug appliances. Mm-hmm. But I do have cleaning problems. It's gotten way better.
Yeah.
I had a friend call me out years ago. I was living in Oakland going to the California College of the Arts, and she was like, hey, at the time, Kathleen, I'm in the neighborhood. Can I come by and bring those CDs? And I was like, sure, on the phone. And then I would hung up, and I was panicked. I ran around my place cleaning it.
You had to clean up everything.
I emptied all the trash cans.
That's really how I am before my show.
And cleaned them out.
Yeah.
Emptied the trash cans and wiped them out, right? She came over, and she goes, hey, can I use the bathroom? I said, sure. She moved to the bathroom, came out. She's like, hey, did you empty your trash can and clean it before I came? She saw that it was wet. I go, yeah, I did. She's like, why do you spend your time and energy doing that kind of stuff? I go, I can't help it. It's uncontrollable.
Because my head says yes.
Because I have to.
Hello.
Oh my
yes,
God.
I'm absolutely, yeah. Mine is really, and then, if my daughter laughs at me because I'll be driving down the street.
Yeah.
And we'll go in somewhere and something didn't turn out the way, or I got pissed off at somebody. And I kind of read them the riot act and da-da-da-da-da. And so, I'll be sitting in the car and I'll be going. My daughter goes, are you arguing with yourself in your head? Because I'm moving my hands, having this conversation in my head. And I was like, shut up.
Oh, you're kind of recapping it?
I'm
with lots of hand gestures.
I'm re-arguing it in my head.
With lots of hand gestures.
I have to freaking... It's like this Italian woman, and I'm not Italian. However,
You're channeling.
I'm channeling. I'm having this conversation because here's my hand moving back and forth.
Yeah.
And my head's shaking, yes and no. Uh-huh. And my daughter goes, are you arguing with yourself? It's like, don't judge me. Because I have to resolve this. I have to resolve.
Yeah. Here's the other thing. Does this happen to you? Around numbers. If I have a digital output on a radio, like if I'm in my car, and I've got the, I got the volume on, certain numbers don't work for me. And it's not about even or odd. It's bizarre. It's like, oh, I can't listen at 29. It has to be 28 or 30.
Yeah.
But it's not about even or odd. In that instance, it is.
See, for me, sometimes it is.
Okay. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. So I'm like, because I'll be playing a game. Like,
but we're not alone.
We're not alone. So, see, that's what I'm like. I'll be playing a game and I'll be going, oh my God, there's a 3 over here and a 4 over here and a 5 over here. Well, I got to get rid of these and make these all even.
Yeah, wow. You know what I'm curious about is, do other countries have these problems?
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do.
To the same degree, or is it really America in a blender? Or we just have some
like
special...
a frog.
We are a special needs country with regards to... No? I don't know. I'm curious.
I don't know, but I have read where there's instances of a lot of other countries, a lot of children aren't on the Ritalin.
They are not.
The drugs.
Is that what you're saying?
They're not.
Correct.
But you also got to consider... Let's, for example, take European countries compared to American countries. I work 40 hours a week, 50 weeks a year, or 51 weeks a year, and I get a week of vacation.
Right.
However, in Europe, you get holiday. Your holiday is approximately up to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So let's think about this logically. So my stress level is up here because I work myself to death just to achieve something.
True.
I don't feel like I can take... here in America, I'm sorry, not that I've ever been to another country, but here, there's this panic of, oh my God, I'm going on vacation, I better make sure everything's in order. And I'm pretty damn sure that in Europe, it's kind of like, it'll be there when I get back.
Yeah. True.
So we have this factor of I think we allow ourselves to be responsible for stuff that's not in our control. Because I know that here's one of my OCD things is and that I'm working with is I am so good at a lot of things, but then that insecure part of me takes over and I'm like, oh my God, what if they realize I'm a failure and I'm just a fraud? I know that I'm not, but that insecure doubt comes in. It creeps in and it like, you're a loser.
It knocks.
You're a loser. It's like, but I'm not. Yes, you are, but I'm not. Yes, you are. Okay, maybe I am.
Oh my God, I know.
So but that's kind of where I think that maybe it is mostly American made.
I'm curious to see studies and numbers.
But I actually did watch a show, and it's Irish. It was a documentary on OCD.
Oh, really?
So they do. I mean, I guess they do have it.
Counting potatoes.
Yeah.
Counting potatoes.
I mean, well, one guy was a germaphobe.
Oh yeah.
And absolutely, you couldn't touch anything in his house, and like. The camera crew came up the stairs and somebody brushed a bush and the guy kind of freaked out and he says, you're lucky you're even in my house. He says, because now I have to walk around that like this, like he's crawling against the wall for the next week because I know that you touched that bush.
Oh my God.
And I'm afraid your germs are now on that bush.
Is he able to leave the house, that guy?
Yeah, but rarely. He says his mother has OCD too, but she says, I never get to see him. I can't even hug my own child because he is such a germaphobe, and that's his OCD.
Wow.
And I think a lot of people have this misconception about what it is. Oh, your house must be really clean. It's like, no, it's not. Well, I'll be honest with you, it's not.
Mine is.
Yeah,
I understand that it has a full spectrum.
Yeah, a lot of people that are OCD people are hoarders because we can't let anything go because there's this emotional attachment to it. It's like, well, I might use it later.
Yeah, might use it later. Yeah.
My mother gave this to me. I can't throw it away.
What about people that keep trash, though? I don't understand that part.
But because there's an attachment to it.
Even to the trash.
Hoarding comes from something traumatic. Okay. I'm not a hoarder. However, my relationship, I had a 10-year relationship, and he was a little bit of a hoarder.
Okay.
Well, his hoarding came from something traumatic. His traumatization was based on every time life got rough, they lived like gypsies, and they would pack up and leave. And he had 2 pairs of pants his entire high school year.
Okay.
Got
it.
So he's traumatized.
So got it. So he has that fear of...
Yes, that fear of never having enough.
Got it. Okay.
So now if I buy enough, I know I'll never run out.
What about people that are hoarders and have all the stuff in their cars? Like they also have a house that's filled to the brim, but
sometimes it's security.
So it helps them drive around and know that.
Sometimes you have this stuff you know you'll never be without.
Okay.
See, for me, mine came from one, living with somebody that was that way for 10 years.
Yeah.
And I realized that when I was 16 and my mother figured out I was no longer a virgin and kicked me out with nothing more than the clothes on my back and gave everything that was mine away. Everything. I mean, so, when I had a relationship with my mother and I came back, there was nothing there anymore because my childhood was gone. She gave it away. She donated it.
Okay, so what is today, Mother's Day, like for you? Is it a tender day? Is it a weird day?
No, it's not. I'm not. I mean...
do you talk to your mom now? No?
I haven't spoken to my mom since 2004.
Okay, but you made peace with her.
It's been the healthiest...
Oh, okay, good.
13 years of my life.
Very cool.
She was a toxic personality. I don't doubt that she loved me in the way that she thought was best for her.
And the best she could, maybe.
But it wasn't what I needed. And it wasn't, when our relationship ended, it ended on the note of her saying that she had been rotten in hell since the day I was born. And I thought, I don't need this life.
No, you don't.
I don't.
I'm sorry.
And I think we're done.
Okay.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Wow. And, I've told my daughter that she is allowed to have a relationship if she chooses. I'm more than happy with her having this relationship. It's on her choice. She's free will. Yeah. My daughter's free will. My daughter was a free will person when she started speaking about religion, life, everything.
Wow, cool.
I can either try to control my daughter,
sure,
and make her into something that she'd be unhappy with, or I can let her be who she is.
Right. That's the best job as a mother.
Yeah. To
realize that your child comes through you.
Yeah.
You're ushering that child through. What is it, Khalil Gibran?
I love that book,
Yeah.
The Prophet. They are through you, but they are not part of you. They live in the house of tomorrow, or you live in the house of today.
I love that.
You will never reside in that house.
Wow. On that note, my mom it's been such a journey for her my entire life, and especially since, my trauma came up at age 37 after a trip with my dad. It's just been a real adventure for my mom, and it's been really hard. And the trans piece and all of that, but she is my biggest supporter, my biggest love, and to really feel her support and love, finally, because I didn't for years.
Yeah.
Because she struggled with it, and I knew she loved me.
She felt like she failed.
She maybe did feel it.
I think we fail as a parent when we think we've done right by our children, but they're not happy.
Yeah. But she's been amazing, and she actually got the first copy of my book. It wasn't supposed to be for sale yet, and somehow she found it on Amazon and got it. And I told my publisher, hey, it is available on Amazon. He's like, he shut that down because the launch is going to be a whole other thing. So she's the first person to buy it and read it.
Mm-hmm.
And she was so supportive and just mirrored back so much love. And that was such a gift. I mean, and that she just finished it the other day. And like to really know my mom, even though she still struggles sometimes with, wow, my kid's transgender. And, when I first came out to her, she said about trans, and really needing to transition. She said, well, why can't you just be gay? And I'm like, because I'm not.
You're not gay.
I never identified with the word lesbian. That never worked for me.
I'm not gay.
I'm not gay.
Yeah.
I'm a straight guy with breasticles who likes girls, women. But what a gift, to have my mom on my team.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's great. I talk about with my daughter, I question her thing because it's really her issue at the end of the day. Where, she's a bum magnet. She picks the guys who she needs to save and don't really have a job, don't have a car, and don't have anything going for them. And I'm like, I don't understand where you got this from. Because that's not who I am. But then I kind of have to take a step back in that and say, one day you're going to decide what you really want in a partner, Amber. And all I ask for you, I said, I know you think that I want you to find a man who makes a lot of money. I said, I just want you to find a man who can carry his own. That's all. I don't care if he works at McDonald's, has a beat-up Pinto,
sure,
and lives in a crappy apartment.
Someone who contributes and meets you halfway.
Right. I want you to find that in a partner.
Yeah.
Whether it's a man or a woman, I don't care what you choose. I want you to know that you have a choice. I want my children to know they have a future. I want them to go to school and I want them to get an education. I want them to know that they can take care of themselves. And then if they pick a partner that they don't have to work, it's now a choice.
Right.
It's not. Because we were raised in that generation. You stuck it out. You settled.
Yeah.
It's right for you. This guy makes really good money. You should stick it out. Mm-hmm. However, I'm miserable and I'm unhappy. And most of the days, I'd like to pinch your nose while you're sleeping and hope you don't wake up in the morning. But I don't want that for my daughter.
Cause of death, nose pinch.
Right? I don't want that for my daughter. I want my daughter to know she has this choice.
I don't want that for anybody.
I
want everybody to find their own truth and live it and find a partner. And, it's another place where our culture has it a little bit wonky. That whole saying of find your better half or your other half. We need to have two individuals who are completely whole and working on more wholeness. And then the third thing becomes the coupleship.
Well, here's the thing for me. When you're looking for somebody, always strive for somebody that wants you to be a better person. Not a better half, just a better person.
Right, true.
I am with you because you make me want to be a better person. Not because I have to
complete me.
Yeah, I don't want somebody to complete me. I don't need to be complete.
Right.
Yeah. I'm pretty darn sure that I have two of everything. And I'm okay.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's about being with somebody who makes you a better person.
Yes.
Who makes you want to be a better person.
Yes.
Not because you're with them, you're a better person. It's always that growing.
Yeah.
I want to grow. I want to make you happy.
Be a better version of myself than I was
That's really
yesterday.
it. That's the best. That's the description I was really looking for. I want to be a better version of myself. And I can do it alone. Mm-hmm. It would be great if I had companionship.
Yeah.
There's some days I hate waking up alone.
Yeah.
But then there's some days that I get in my bed and I'm like, thanks! As I spread my arms and my Michelangelo Da Vinci thing.
Yeah.
Laying there thinking, thank gosh.
Yeah, I definitely want a wife. My longest relationship was 8.5 years. And I've had quite a few girlfriends and lived with quite a few women. But my mantra right now, if you will, is I just know, I get excited actually. I'm like, I know that my future wife is out there working just as hard on herself as I am on myself to be the best version of herself as I'm being of myself. And we'll meet when it's divinely inspired.
Right.
It's not in my hands. I'm not going to get on Tinder and find my wife. I'm not going to go to a bar and find my wife.
No.
I'm not going to go to an AA meeting and find my wife. I mean, I just trust that she's out there in the right time. And when we meet,
you might find that person in the bank line.
Yeah, it could happen anywhere. But my fairy tale version of it in my head is that the minute we see each other, there's an instant soul recognition.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe it's a big old fairy tale, but I am a romantic like that. I'm kind of holding out.
And that's awesome. I mean, I think we lose romance so much. I think we're disconnected.
Oh, we are.
Absolutely. Because when you're in a bank line, let's think about this. How many times are you sitting here in the bank line doing this?
Yes. I got you.
So how do you know that person isn't that person that you have that connection with?
I don't do that too much. I love to look around and interact with people.
But do you understand what we're saying?
I got you.
We have become so disconnected.
I know.
It is so much easier to be antisocial and on our phones and think that our life is. Have you ever heard the poem by Gary Turk?
Help me out.
He's a poet, and he did a video of it. It's called Look Up.
Look Up? I don't know it.
And it's an amazing poem about how we've become disconnected.
What's his name again?
Gary Turk.
Gary Turk.
Yeah.
Cool.
And look him up. He's got a video on Facebook. It's called Look Up, and it's a whole series about how we've become.
We're missing life because we're looking at our screens.
Yeah, I mean, instead of asking for directions, you're looking at your phone, looking for directions on your phone. And that person that just passed you on the street just could be the love of your life. And you don't know that if you're not connecting.
Yeah, I'm definitely connecting.
So as long as
I hear what you're saying.
We're not connecting.
Yeah.
But, it's like Facebook. We have thousands of friends.
Right.
We have thousands of hundreds of friends, but yet we don't know anybody. Yeah. We don't really know anybody. I have like 500 friends. Okay, great. How many have you met?
Right.
How many really have you met?
Right.
So.
No, I get it. Back to Michael Beckwith, my spiritual mentor. He says it's a high-tech, low-touch society.
Uh-huh.
And that really resonates for me because I know for a fact as an improviser, as an artist, that people are starving for real heart-based connection, but they don't know how to create it.
I got dumped in an email.
You got dumped in an email?
My last relationship ended in an email.
That's unacceptable.
Absolutely. So.
There's also a new phrase called ghosting, where people just disappear.
Yeah, that's what he pretty much did. He ghosted me.
He emailed you and ghosted you.
Yeah, he pretty much emailed me, ghosted me, said, I need to be alone, and within a month he was with somebody else and married a year later.
I need to be alone. And he was exactly the opposite, yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, he was much more broken than what he presented, and I was dumped in an email and ghosted at that point, and it was just kind of like...
Yeah.
I kind of got my closure of, you were good for me and good to me and, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, whatever.
Right.
Thanks. But, at the one day I just kind of went, you're an ass.
Yeah.
And thank you. Thank you for helping me to realize this because now I have some closure.
Yeah. And you get to refine your list of what you really want in an ideal partner.
Right. And for me, it's like, like people's like, well, who are you seeing? It's like, I'm not seeing anybody because it's not important to me. That is not an important factor of my life right now. Doesn't mean that I'm not ever going to want it.
Right.
It's just not today.
Right. I hear you.
So when people go, well, you're emotionally unavailable. I'm like, okay, I'm emotionally unavailable today.
You guys, you should see her face right now. That's perfect. It's all smushed up mouth. Let's do it again.
I'm emotionally unavailable today.
Today.
I totally have a Spock shirt, and you should never wear that to speed dating, because that's what I wore at Buffalo Thunder.
What kind of shirt is it?
It's Mr. Spock, and it says emotionally unavailable.
Everyone loved it.
Yeah, you should not wear that to speed dating.
Speed dating? How was that speed dating?
It was weird.
Was it goofy?
Yeah, nobody there was my age.
Oh my god.
I'm like, dude, I'm going to be changing your diapers later, aren't I?
I actually just put a couple weeks ago, put on Facebook status update. I put, would you date a trans guy?
I saw that.
Then I wrote, asking for a friend, just to be funny, because I think it's funny. Because I was asking for myself, obviously, but it's funny. And the responses were great. I only got like 2 people that just went like, nope. But everybody else was so cool, and it was such a uplifting thing.
I would probably be more likely to date a trans male than I would a bisexual male.
Interesting. And what's your thinking there?
Because...
Or feeling there?
I think because, unfortunately there's the stigma of, are you a safe person?
Do you mean sexually with
Sexually,
diseases?
yes.
Okay.
Are you a safe person? Okay. Because you might not be wearing a raincoat with me. Does that mean you're not wearing a raincoat with him?
Right.
So I have an issue with that.
Got it.
I don't have an issue with a bisexual female.
Right.
Because I would consider myself bisexual. Okay. However, I would have an issue with a bisexual male.
Got it.
I don't want to know that you're thinking about stooping another person, another man, while you're stooping me.
Right.
Because I don't know what goes on with that other person.
Yeah.
But I would probably say I would be more likely to date somebody that would be trans, because I know that I'm in a heterosexual male-female lock and key. I call it a lock and key relationship.
Tiny little key, lady.
Right, but do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I call it the lock and key syndrome.
I got that. Yeah.
You know, the key that fits my lock.
Got it.
I mean, I like women. I'm very picky about my women, but it's not my lifestyle.
Got it. I understand.
It's more than.
I love how open you are.
That would be more like a hobby for me.
A hobby.
A hobby, not a lifestyle. I couldn't see myself in a relationship with a woman, because I thought about it once.
Yeah.
But I'm much more masculine, and her comment to me was, "You're really more like a husband," and I'm like, "Duh." Hello.
Wait, there's a little tiny bit of cognitive dissonance here because you're really kind of femme.
I am. I love men.
No, I know, but you're very femme. But you say you have a really strong masculine side.
I really do.
Yeah, I believe you.
I absolutely do.
It's not my business.
I absolutely. No, I do. I mean, probably. What would I be? I would be I'd be a lipstick lesbian if I was a lesbian.
Yes.
I totally would be. I'm not a butch, but I am a butch in a
energetic way,
in a personal way. Basically, why do you got to read the directions? Let me just put that together for you. Here, let me take care of that for you. I can work on your car. You don't need no stinking man.
That's awesome.
That kind of thing. So yeah, I'm a pretty open personality, and
you're a very open soul. I can feel it. It's nice. I felt it the minute we met.
Thanks. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you came. But I mean, I want to talk. I mean, and we don't have to end at 6. So my show, I have 5 hours a day. So we can talk as long as you want, unless you have somewhere you need to be.
I do have to wrap it up by 6.
But I would love to have you back.
I would love to come back.
I would love to have you back closer when we launch your book.
Yeah.
How about that?
I would love it.
Love
it. Because there's going to be a whole Amazon.com launch package. There's going to be all these videos where I do video calls with my publisher to do kind of training type stuff. Big old Facebook something or another. All this business of show business that I don't understand.
Is your publisher here?
He's in Vermont.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we could Skype him in.
We could do something. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, he can call my phone and we can talk. Have him come in and we can Skype him in, and
that could be great. Yeah.
And we could totally do that. I would love to do that. I think
awesome.
That would be amazing.
It would be awesome. In the meantime, what's the next stand-up show you're doing?
I haven't actually. Honestly, I haven't done any stand-up because I've been focused on this so much.
Okay.
But now that I don't have to be at work at 7 a.m. in the morning, I have more time to do some open mics and kind of thing. And I'm not a huge open micer.
Right.
I admit it.
No, I understand.
That could be why I don't really get booked as much as I could be, but at the same time, I just kind of have an opinion about open mics compared to being on stage, because I'm much more nervous at an open mic than I am on stage, because I know that at an open mic, I'm telling comedy to my peers who judge me like, where when I go on stage, I'm telling comedy to people that are really there to genuinely laugh at what they want to laugh at.
Right.
So, don't think I'm always funny, but I'm funny.
Yeah, no. I know it's an interesting art form with regard to open mics.
How about you?
I don't have anything scheduled right now, but I'm working on my stand-up comedy special. I'm putting together a 45-minute.
Who's filming it for you?
I don't have all that lined up yet, but we have. It's going to be called "Hung Like a Seahorse," the show and tell version.
Well, let me know, because I know people that are
videographers.
And everything.
Yeah, definitely. The whole story behind the book is that. Do we have time?
Yeah, absolutely, we have time.
I sat down to write my third solo show, which was going to be just called "Hung Like a Seahorse," and nothing was coming. Nothing. I mean, I was beyond writer's block.
Yeah.
Nothing was flowing. And I was like, you know what? It's not going to happen in a show format right now.
Right.
But I have, I need to get this out of me. And I do know someone who has a ghostwriting team.
Right.
Company. Called him. It's called You Speak It Publications. Called him and got busy with the best team on the planet. I mean, they pulled this book out of me. They helped me so much.
Dude, maybe I need to get a hold of them.
They were phenomenal. I can't say enough about them.
Maybe I need to get a hold of them.
Keith, Leon, his wife Maura, Leon, a bunch of amazing team. And it took the whole last year. And we did phone calls with prompting questions.
I thought you were going to say phone sex and get me excited.
Yeah. Anyway, without them, the book wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
And now that I've got the book done, I'm ready to write the show. And the show will go a little deeper into different areas and be even more fun and inappropriate.
I think that a lot of the times that books don't really quite touch on this dark part of us that we need to heal. Where in comedy, that dark part of us comes out and it helps us heal.
True.
Because we learn to laugh at it.
True.
We learn to laugh at it.
Well, I've finally learned to laugh at myself. Yeah. Thank God.
I am my biggest heckler. Like I said, absolutely. I will heckle myself all the way to hell.
Myself.
Absolutely. Don't judge.
Oh my God, this has been such a treat.
So I absolutely. So I want to have you back. So give me a Sunday that you want to come back just before we launch your book, and we'll get your publisher on here and let's talk about it and grow some awesome things. And I'm so glad I got to meet you. I watch your posts and your definitely your affirmations that you post on almost on a daily basis. The
gratitude list.
Your gratitude list. Yeah. It's really your gratitude list. Yeah. And again, I think you're amazing, and I think that everybody should be honored to meet you. And,
thank you so much.
You have just this great presence about you.
This has been a delight. You're incredible.
But I'm going to wrap up this, and I'll be posting what next week's show is about. I don't currently have a guest, but I definitely would like to do some great subjects. If you guys are interested, anybody interested out there that would like to come on and talk about something, give me a message on Facebook, like us on Facebook, Women, Wit, and Wine. And, definitely follow Quinn, Alexander Fontaine. Look out for his book. I'm pretty excited about it. And he's going to be back here probably in about 6 weeks to talk about this again. And I'm so excited. But again, this is Nicolina Nix and
Quinn Fontaine.
Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye, everybody.